Darnell, I'll have you go first. Let's say you're the defense here. You're getting ready for trial. You've been asking for this file, and now you finally get it, and there's like 40 leads in there. What does that do to the case? What is the proper remedy at this point?
Well, since in America you're really guilty until proven innocent, nothing's going to happen. But what should happen is a motion for mistrial immediately, and then, as you said, since this case is so old, a motion for bond. Obviously, the law leans towards pretrial release as opposed to detention if there could be a set of circumstances put in place to secure the public and secure the individual and to make sure the individual comes to court. And whenever there's a situation like this, where there's Brady material that seems to be maliciously withheld, I think the court should support a motion for mistrial. And if they don't give the mistrial, then they should at least allow some kind of a curative instruction, a curative approach, but allow the person to be let out on bond, because the prosecution case, in my opinion, just got weaker.
Al Wunsch, there's a bunch of things that shock me about this, but one of them is that there were like 40 clown sightings in South Florida.
Well, first of all, not so fast, Darnell, okay? Not so fast. The cheese was king down there. But it's not an odd situation, Vin, because isn't the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey's
different
circus?
Part of Florida. Different part of Florida. That's
but
up
there's
near
still
Sarasota.
clown. It's still a clown college in the area, and so these guys may be out on spring break. But so it can certainly happen. Okay, but you know, this is a very peculiar situation that you would have all of these clown spottings. But the best part is that somebody at a drive-through window asked the guy why he's wearing a clown. Okay, that's a brilliant, brilliant situation. But it wasn't a very nice gesture by the clown to get angry at him.
So, Jennifer Brandt, what should happen here? You know, I'm all for prosecution, but something in my gut tells me this just wasn't right. The fact that they've been asking for this, and this is a big deal, I think, because these are other clowns that are cited. We're looking for a clown. So what were the other leads related to clowns? What's the other information? What do you think should happen here?
Well, I agree. It's a problem because it seems like the prosecution had a really strong case. I mean, there might be a lot of clowns driving around Florida at the time, but this particular clown was connected to the victim's husband. So this was a clown that really had some motive here, perhaps. And to withhold the names and the sightings of the other clowns, I think was a mistake. It didn't seem to get them anywhere. I mean, only to cause problems now, and perhaps a mistrial, like Darnell said, based on all this new evidence, or this evidence that never came out before. And by the way, Vinny, I don't think it's so unusual that you have a bunch of clowns driving around. I mean,
where do you live again?
In Philadelphia, we have lots of clowns. No, but I mean, there are parties and things like that. You do see clowns on the road from time to time, so I don't think it's so unusual.
And I get it, you know, they're working birthday parties and other things. All right. Darnell, at the end of the day, this would not be a reason to have the charges dismissed, would they?
Not to have the charges dismissed, but for a mistrial. The charges shouldn't be dismissed because of this, unless the jury came back with a verdict.
Well, no, we have no jury yet. I mean, the trial was supposed to start like next week. I mean, it was supposed to start. So this is like days before jury selection begins. So I'm trying to figure out, because the 20th there's going to be a hearing, and I'm very concerned. I want there to be a trial. I want there to be a search for the truth of what actually happened to Marlene Warren. And if Sheila Keene Warren did it, I want her prosecuted. If the evidence isn't there, I want her set free. But I want the jury to figure this out.
Well, you probably like this one. Unless Ms. Mosby is prosecuting this one, it's not going to be dismissed based on this.
Okay. And by the way, Al, you owe Darnell an apology. Chopped cheese is a type of sandwich originating in New York City. throughout the Bronx and Queens, Upper Manhattan. It's on a grill, ground beef, onions, mixed with melted cheese, served with lettuce, tomatoes on a hero roll, kind of like a cheesesteak, Jennifer, down in Philly, but it's in New York. That's a chop.
I'm from the Bronx.
Yeah, that's a chop. That's a chop cheese sandwich.
He called me a cheesesteak.
Wait a minute. What do you call a clown that goes to jail?
No idea.
A silly con.
Okay, very good. Florida versus Sheila Keene Warren.